racialization or with racial tensions and all of that stuff, and so feeling like you're the other. I'm not saying this very well, but you get the idea. I think that that's one of the biggest things in the show that really resonates for me about what's going on in 2017.
And that really comes ahead in the New Orleans episode. I think that, I mean, even though we had some goofy times recording it, it's kind of scary when you look at it a little bit in terms of, you know. It's a little scary when you look at it.
That's like a metaphor for 2017.
Yeah. This entire panel is. Yeah, it's a little scary when you look at it in terms of what's going on today, politically and socially. But yeah, and I think that art is also, it allows us to express that in ways that, you know, aren't so necessarily overt or heavy-handed. And I think it allows us to engage it in ways that maybe we didn't expect.
If you've seen episode 11, where there's the mob scene, and you see how easily they're influenced by just a few words from several different characters. They go, they're going to fight, then they're not going to fight, then they're going to leave, then they're going to fight. I think that also reflects what's going on now, is how easy it is to incite people to have such a strong impact, especially when we're together as a group. So I thought that episode really was very powerful.
Definitely. And how about the casting process? I know you guys brought a lot of amazing talent to the show. How did you find them? And who did you know? Who was right for what role? Like, how did you put all this together?
Well, as a director, I got a mandate to cast a certain amazing young man named Magnogna as Exxon, and after meeting him, I couldn't resist because he really, evidently Magnogna always had him in mind for the part, and then in meeting him, we sat down for about 5 minutes and we just go through and this was it. I think that's kind of what happened.
Yeah. I met Nakahama at anime convention, and we became friends very quickly. And I always loved seeing him and always hoped I would get the chance to work with him. And then when he passed on my name to Matt, I went to the office to meet Matt. I mean, we just connected. I just love this guy to death. And we have so many of the same interests and passions. And so I was thrilled from the very beginning to be a part of it. And it was a lot of fun.
Maybe.
Well, I'm one of the older people, I think, in this anime business. I've done over 300 different animated series and video games. Most prominently, probably going way back, Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Digimon, Full Metal Alchemist is one of the biggest shows that I was a part of, and just been doing it for a very long time, and it's been a real thrill to be a part of it. I do a lot of music production work, and I have to take the opportunity to tell you guys, can I? I also am the executive producer of a web series. See, as soon as we start talking about Star Trek, the lights stay on. Yes! It's the magic of Star Trek. I exec produce a web series called Star Trek Continues, and I cannot believe this girl has actually got it. I love you. I am in love with you, and we are getting married. And we will be very happy together. We've got, it's a great web series that picks up where the original Star Trek series was canceled in the late 60s. And it finishes the 5-year mission of the Enterprise, which never happened. This is iconic. And if you guys are at all able to do so, try to make it today at 3 o'clock here at Stan Lee's event. We are having a sneak peek of our final episode. It is literally the final episode of the original series of Star Trek. It's a 2-part finale. Episode 10, which was part 1, was released about 3 weeks ago. And episode 11 is being sneak previewed here at 3 o'clock today in room 411. So consider yourselves personally invited, all right?
Going down the line, James, how involved, What's your experience in terms of voice acting?
I've been doing this for about 15 years. I really wanted to do voice acting and was thrilled to eventually get an agent. And that's really helpful, by the way, to do. However, for this project, a friend of mine called me and said, hey, you should submit yourself for this because I'm going to be in England and I'm not going to be able to do the audition or even finish doing the first few episodes of the series. So I think, okay, cool. So I went, luckily got the audition, went down, and the people were so nice. I was like, I really need to get this one. Even though on the second to last day we were working, there was this huge fire in Burbank, and it started to rain ash on the car, and I was like, starting to freak out, like, what the hell's happening here? The end of the world. But I think it was the right decision in the end. End of the world, be damned.
Hi. This show was a lot of my first. This is my first year in California. This was my first anime show. And it was my first job. So I think I lucked out pretty well. I know Matt many years ago. We did Shakespeare camp together up in the Berkshires in Massachusetts. So I know from that. He called me up. He said, I think there might be something right for you. You need to come in and audition for this role. And so he said, well, you know, I auditioned for a couple other things and I really sucked at it. So, but this is my first, this is my first time, and then he said, well, let's just try this and see how this fit. And so I read it and he was like, pretty good, pretty good. And so he called me back for a call back and he said, pretty good, pretty good. And then he called back third time and said, I think you got the job. So I'm very appreciative. Thank you.
Yeah, so this was also a lot of firsts for me. This was my first voiceover audition ever. I'm sorry. I was in a musical with Saki, the producer, and she said, well, why don't you come in and audition? So I did, and it turned out good. But yeah, I mostly do musical theater and Shakespeare and stuff like that. But I love anime and I love animation. Yep.
I have recently got into voiceover, not quite as recently as you. But I also have a background in theater, and I did the national tour of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the musical. I know. And I was Mrs. Claus. And to be in that, you have to like voice match the claymation character.
Oh.
And so, yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
Paw, you haven't touched a morsel. Yay!
Herbie, you're an elf. Elves make toys.
Okay, all right, you're cats. But so they brought in a voiceover person to work with us on it, and he was like, you should do voiceover. Why aren't you doing this? You could make a career in voice matching. And I took it seriously. So I took some classes, and I just started in the last couple of years, and I've been doing some commercials and some toys, and this was my first anime, but I just recorded my second one actually a couple weeks ago. But the way I got this job was my friend Michelle, who's sitting back there, who is one of the reporters.
Michelle actually played, I think, 15 characters.
Yeah, Michelle, nice work. So she messaged me and was like, so my friend Matt is looking for someone to fill this teenage girl role. They haven't found anybody. Do we know anyone who does teenage girl voices? And I was like, me, we know me. And, and she was like, all right, calm down, I'll get you an audition. And I had just run into Matt at a party where I had come from my day job where I work as a clown, and I was in an adult party dressed as a clown. And Matt was like, okay, I guess bring the clown in. And I came in and I auditioned, and it went really well, and then...
And you also made us a balloon animal.
I didn't. Well, he scolded me when I walked in. He was like, why are you dressed as a clown? So I was like, here's a balloon animal. And then on my way out the door, he goes, we're casting you, but I don't know as what. And I was like, what? And he goes, we're casting you, but I don't know as what. And then like slammed the door in my face. And then called me the next day. So that's how I got involved.
I have been doing voiceover in various forms for the last probably 15 years. Before that, I did 20 years touring as a stand-up comedian. Done a lot of theater and whatnot. I got involved in this because my friend Lila over there, who is the Flaming Fury, and that's not just a description of her temperament, emailed me and said, hey, you should audition for this. And I did an audition at home, then we went in, and Lila said, she goes, I did almost every line in a different character to show them I could do, be really versatile. So I said, okay. So each paragraph I did from a different country. And there was a lot of silence on the other side of the booth, and I cried. And then a few weeks later, Lila goes, it's great, I got cast. Have you heard from him yet? No, I haven't. And then Saki wrote to me, and she goes, we're using you, we just don't know what yet. And I ended up playing over 10 characters. So it was great, because I knew what my main guy would be, then every day Matt would go, how do you feel about being this thing? And I'd say, great. And only one didn't work, I was a goat boy, and Matt was so much better showing me how to do it. He didn't tell me, but I watched the episode and went, that is not me. My goat was way more hesitant. It was Matt. So, really, really great. Phenomenal experience, also my first anime, so really great experience.
Matt's a really great voice actor himself, and every time he demonstrates something, I think to myself, dang, I hope he never finds out how good he is. Because we'll just all go home. And
it was all born out of necessity. I mean, honestly, I had done some voices for Grand Theft Auto and a couple other things. And I didn't think I was going to end up playing 36 different characters over the course of the show. But when you're looking at a budget and you're looking at time and you can't bring your actors back in, all of a sudden you get really good at impressions. That happened on more than a few occasions. Zach, the audio engineer over here, can tell you about that.
Oh yeah.
He had to coach me through a couple of things. So big round of applause for Zach. Thanks. Coming from you, it's like a humble brag. It's amazing. Thank you.
I mean it, absolutely.
I actually had to play Vic once, but we didn't tell him yet.
Just out of curiosity, how many people on the panel died, had to do a death scene in this show?
I
Everyone?
die, but I don't die on the camera.
Yeah.
Well, you had to do a few, Erin.
Oh, yes.
Erin was actually in the show as well.
I was.
Yeah, she played, I think, 3 or 4 episodes. So we killed her off. She was a bee woman. She was a bunch of different things. It's like, again, hey, can you do this? Yeah? All right, go for it.
Yeah, I did a lot of dying in the show. So I was just curious if anyone had a good death. What are the good... Who has the best death on the panel in the show?
Oh yeah! Bob!
Bob!
I had the best death when I played Little Bob.
What happened to little Bob?
Oh God, what happened?
Bob was the jazz clarinetist. The
The
11-year-old
little boy jazz clarinetist.
in New Orleans.
But he seems like they're forcing him to play the clarinet. Yeah, he's really unhappy. and he just keeps, it's just a bunch of scenes of him being like, hey guys, I'm Bob. And then people being like, let's beat Bob. I get that.
And then he gets kidnapped and murdered.
And then he gets kidnapped and murdered. Yeah, I ended up dying.
Oh, was this the nod again? Not you dying in the
I don't remember if it's ended up in there, but there was a thing where he gets thrown to the ground and the script.
Not again!
Yeah. The script just said groan, and I went, not again.
I think they cut that one out.
Yeah, speaking of outtakes, where's some other highlights from the outtake reel? You didn't make it in. It's all me adding in the F word.
All of it.
One thing is to see what actually made it in.
Actually, in Japan they did the final cut, so we didn't really know. Matt actually threw in a lot of extra stuff just for fun sometimes, and sometimes, Vic's character will be saying like, "Noink." What's that? Yoink.
Yoink.
Yeah.
You have to watch the show because
Whenever
you
you
have to
can.
catch that
I
part.
want to do that.
You got the yoinking.
Yoink.
We have a lot of people asking, is that Sky Show? And it shows up at least once an episode, either in the crowd or somebody actually sang it. I was surprised that it actually made it into the final cut of episode 12 when Deadwing finally gets blasted. He goes, "Is that Sky Show?"
Yeah.
Which was a completely improvised moment between me and Aaron, who's out there somewhere. It was interesting just to have, I like to let the actors have fun, and I like to have fun myself. And we were working in a murder garage in Van Nuys, a studio that was, it was a storage space that's converted into a studio, and it would be literally 120 degrees. This poor guy, one day, and he's not saying a word, one day, like we're running through his paces, going through stuff, he comes in, he's just completely drenched, and I can't see him because I'm staring at the screen, drenched from head to toe, and he didn't say a word. Like, he was just like, he comes in and we're like, what, did you just take a shower? Is it raining in there? He's like, no, it's like 120 degrees in there. He's like, why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you say anything? But he was a trooper. It was just...
No, the heat gets your blood going, and you just fly through the stuff, so it was a lot quicker. It was a lot quicker getting it.
Yeah.
I tell you. Yeah. It was a little bit hot though, yeah.
Yeah, then I had to instill the hour rule. After every hour, I had to take everybody out after that. Called it the James Kirby rule, the James Clark rule. It's like after an hour, okay, we're done. All right, take a break, take 5, let's do it. Yeah.
What were some of the challenges in the recording process other than the heat?
Any challenges?
Yeah, you know what? I do have an interesting perspective on this. Anime, once you normally in anime, the production is finished by the time it gets to the English studio. The animation is done, it's locked in, and your job, your challenge as a voice actor is not only to deliver a good performance, but to deliver it in a very strict, locked rhythm of mouth movements, right? They're set. And so that becomes its own challenge. Some people are really good at matching flaps, and some people are really good at acting, but often the two together is the challenge. And so one of the things that was really wonderful about this show was that what we often recorded to were what amounted to storyboards, like animatics of still frames, and you had much more freedom in being able to perform the lines the way you wanted to, because the mouth movements were not yet animated. So that was really an interesting change from a normal finished anime production that I'm sure some of the people here have done as well. It was really kind of freeing. And the mask. I was just getting to that. It was really neat that Exxon had a mask, because then you don't have to match the mouth flaps either. I always tease Aaron Dismuke, who played Alphonse in Full Metal Alchemist, because he was in a suit of armor. And the reason they were able to cast a 12-year-old little boy to play a 12-year-old little boy is because he didn't have mouth flaps. Had he had mouth flaps to match a 12-year-old, he would have gotten so frustrated so quickly, and it would have never happened. But because, he was covered, he didn't have to match mouth movements. But that was really fun. I got to go to Tokyo and watch an anime being recorded there, and got to watch the actors there do it the way they do it, and they all are in a big line. It's so cool. It's like Reader's Theater. All the actors are in the studio together, and they take turns stepping up to microphones and doing their lines, and they have little color cues and little symbol cues on screen to let them know when their character's about to speak. It's very different than finished, dubbed anime into English. So that was really a fun new twist on it as well. Like, you would look at the Pro Tools audio file, and you would see the wave on the screen. You go, okay, there's where he starts talking, and there's where he stops. Oh, there he talked again, and he stops. And so our job was basically to match those areas, but within those areas you had a lot more freedom because the finished animation wasn't done yet.
All right, guys, I know this has gone by really, really way too quickly, and there's a lot more that everyone here wants to discuss, but we have a surprise for you guys, a special performance by Nine, who has come here to do a little closing theme of Sun, Sun, Sunrise that you guys know from the show. So come on out, girls.
Everybody has to do the dance.
Okay.
Sorry, happening. Sunlight, sunlight.
just want to let you guys know, we're going to be doing a signing at the POW Entertainment booth, 907. We have posters. If you go there right now with us, they're already signed by Stan. So you're getting a Stan signature that normally costs $175, and we're giving it to you for free. So come with us. Come, keep on living the reflection.